It's been exhilarating to return and meet everyone with our new video about your true power. We hope you enjoy the video and continue to support our channel. The video will share and help you understand more about how to balance yourself and expand your inner power as you show up in your wholeness.
If you want something and you're in alignment with it, it's going to come. If the other wants something and they're in alignment with it, it's going to come. And the universe has an uncanny way of melding your intentions to give you both what you want, even though it seems impossible. In other words, someone might say, I want to live in the mountains, and someone living with them might say, I want to live on the shore. And it would seem that they both can't be satisfied, but when you get to the essence about what they're both reaching for, they want clean air, they want beautiful vistas, they want to feel good. The reason that one wants to live in the mountains and one wants to live at the ocean is for the same reason. And when they focus upon what they want, the universe will find a way to yielding to both of them what they want. But what trips you up sometimes is you know what you want and you focus upon it sometimes, but the other wants something different, and you keep noticing what that other one wants. So you're not focused upon what you want. You're splitting your energy by pushing against what the other wants. So you're not a vibrational match to what you want, and you're blaming the other one for it. And the other one's doing the same thing. Neither one of you are getting what you want, and you're both blaming each other. If you can stay focused upon what you want, which means you have to mind your own business and not push against someone else's different idea of what they want, you cannot stay true to what you want when you're pushing against what someone else wants. And the universe will yield to you. There are enough resources to give you all what you want. You are not in competition for resources, you see. The power isn't in the wanting. The power is in the allowing. In other words, you can be or do or have anything that you want. Another nickel. Anything that you want. You can be or do or have anything that you want. But you've got to come into vibrational allowance of it. So the power is in the moving up the emotional scale. The power is in the forking technique. The power is in the wanting to feel better. The power is in the listening to the call of source. The power is in the being willing to move from depression to anger, and from anger to frustration, and from frustration to hope, and from hope to belief, and from belief to knowing. In other words, the power is in the trek up the emotional scale. The universe adores you, and your life is causing your expansion. Your work is in the trek up the emotional scale. Your work is to close the gap. That's where the power is. So someone who just complains all the time isn't utilizing their power. Someone who looks only at what is isn't utilizing their power. Someone who is willing to find a different feeling, that's power. In other words, when you get mad, when you've been depressed, you've exercised power. And when you have hope, when you've felt despair, you've exercised power. And when you find love, when you have been mad or hated, you found power. Your power is in your willingness to allow your connection to source. Because source is powerful. Source is all power. But you are not separate from source. Source is not powerful apart from you. Source is powerful because of you. Your willingness to explore contrast is what gives birth to the new idea and takes the expanding source energy outward. You all should be more proud of yourselves. You should be more happy about who you are. We want you to feel your important part in all of this. We want you to adore having been non-physical essence, and we want you to adore your decision to come forth into this body. And we want you to adore the time-space reality that was ready like a nurturing nest for you, no matter where you ended up. Esther, sure, something went wrong. She should have been born in Malibu, but just the same, where you came forth was the perfect place for you to come forth. And as you come forth into this physical body, into this nurturing environment, which will inspire expansion through you for all of us, that's a given. That should make you so glad, you see. And then you say, but where's my stuff? I have been asking. I know I have. And if when I ask, source yields it, then where is it? And we say, it is there for you. It's waiting for you in vibrational escrow, waiting for you to move up the emotional scale, waiting for you to love yourself, waiting for you to love others, waiting for you to be willing to be who you really are, waiting for you to stop beating up on yourself, waiting for you to stop comparing yourself with everyone else, waiting for you to stop comparing yourself and come up short, or compare yourself and come up superior. You can't win either way. When you compare yourself and you say, I'm better than you are, you're inferior, you're not in alignment with who you are. When you compare yourself and you say, I'm inferior and you're superior, you're not in alignment either. In other words, you got to stop comparing yourself with everything that is out of you and just deal with your crack. We don't disagree. It is easier to stay where you are than to reach for a new vibration. But it is helpful when you understand you don't have to reach that far. If you try to reach really far, you can't make the jump. And that's another reason that you stop trying. But when you get sensitive the way you feel enough that you can feel a little improvement, so it's sort of like reach a little, stabilize, reach a little more, stabilize, reach a little more, and stabilize. Before you know it, you'll be saying to us, it doesn't feel good when I find a negative thought. Well, you're actually, overwhelmment is the indication that you're holding back. The feeling of overwhelmment simply means your energy is scattered. Think about it. Look at it this way. So this is the energy of the source you. Now, this energy existed before you came into this body. And when you were born into this body, this energy wasn't diminished at all. In other words, this is powerful energy of which in your physical form you are a part. But here you are spinning in your physical world, and here you are non-physical energy, and both energies are moving simultaneously. When you take the time to get into your vortex and milk it and practice it and align with it, your aligned energy, aligned with the energy that creates worlds, makes you powerful and influential. You have leverage. In other words, big things happen around you when you're lined up like that. When you're not, even though all of this is still calling, there's a scatteredness about it. The best analogy that we have about this is two people. One of them wants one thing, one of them wants something that seems different. And if each of them would focus singularly upon what they want so that they would come into alignment with the fullness of who they are, the universe would have to yield it to them. But usually this one's worried about what that one wants, so this one doesn't have pure energy. This one's worried about what that one wants, so this one doesn't have pure energy. So both of them have this complicated, scattered, not aligned energy. Neither one of them is aligned with source, so neither one of them is very powerful, and they're blaming each other for their lack of accomplishment. So what we really want you to focus upon here is the power of the stream that you brought into the conversation today. The power of that stream. That's the only thing that you want to be interested in. You've done all the work. You've put all the ideas there. You put all the requests there. Law of attraction is the engine that brings it all together. In other words, all of it is moving along. All you got to do is be a cooperative component, which just means you can't be an uncooperative component, which just means you can't be an ornery component or a tired component or an overwhelmed component or an, you see, yes. You have to feel good in order to be a cooperative component. So what we now you're ready to hear this. This is a really significant thing to understand, and may very well be the missing piece for you. If life, including with your father, had not caused you to expand and become this, not going wouldn't be a problem. If you hadn't become more, holding back from it couldn't happen, could it? It's the thing that we so want you to hear is that there's not some evil force pulling against you. It is the not fully going with who you really are that feels like it's tearing you apart. You're the only one who can set up any resistance in your own experience. And you set it up by thinking contradictory thoughts to the real thinking that's going on within you. The reason that you get tired or overwhelmed is because you, like almost everybody else, has a whole bunch of things that you believe that you keep active in your vibration that don't let you go. Things like you should have done differently, or like you should be trying harder, or like you should have been in a better place at a better time, or like you missed some boat. In other words, there's a whole lot of things that you think on a regular basis that hold you in resistance to who you really are and what you really know. And if you care about how you feel, you'll ferret those thoughts out in the moment of having them, because fortunately your inner being is not like your mother who tells you months later what was bothering her. Your inner being gives you in the moment feedback. In other words, in the moment of the prickles, someone said, in the moment of the discord, in the moment of the strong emotion, you're doing it right then in that moment. Right then in that moment, So many things that they put into their vortex that they appreciate were all present in the moment. And so this was a situation where just observing the moment took them in the vortex. And we think that's what trips so many of you up. It makes you then want the moments to already be orchestrated to please you, which is what makes you feel like if you could just control all of those components, if you could just get your desk organized, then in that order you would be in the vortex. And there are 2 points that we're making here. One is, when you find yourself in the vortex, no matter what the reason is, milk it. They sat there through the entire meal focusing upon the positive aspects of the moment and commenting, I'll bet the reason we feel so good is because of this. Well, I bet the reason we feel so good is because of this. Well, I'll bet it's because of this.
Did our video satisfy your soul in some way? Thank you a million times over for your help. We appreciate it more than you can imagine. Don't forget to leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed it. See you later.